Your roof has been agreed to be replaced, but you decided to put Christmas lights up. Does the insurance carrier owe to have someone come out, detach those lights, and then put them back up after the roof is replaced now? I think they do. And if they tell you they don't, that's bull. So you've got a roof replacement. The carrier has agreed to replace the roof, and it's being scheduled for December. But your HOA is having this competition, and you're going to be putting lights on your house to try to win this thing, knowing that your roof is going to be replaced. What do we do with those lights? They have to come off. You can't leave them up there. The roofers can't work around Santa in his sleigh sitting on top of your ridge. They got to come off. Does the insurance carrier owe you to do that is the real question. Replacement cost policies, or even actual cash value policies, they pay to bring you back to a pre-damage condition, pre-loss condition. If the lights were there when the damage happened, then of course they owe for that. In fact, they'll probably be replacing some of the lights as well. If they weren't there already and you decide to put them on and it just happens to be during the time when the roofers are going to finally do the work, I still think they owe it. Under how we pay for a loss, most insurance policies say that they will pay the amount reasonably and necessarily incurred or spent, depending on the policy. Is it reasonable that you would put lights up at this time of year? Yeah. Is it unreasonable that you're replacing your roof in December? It has to be done sometime. Everybody's roofs are getting on the schedule. If you can't fit your schedule in at a different date, I mean, roofing companies don't shut down in December, do they? If it's reasonable, and then it's also necessary to remove those lights in order to be able to do the roof properly, then it meets both of those conditions. I think it's reasonable that a person in this country would put lights up at this time of year, and they would need to go off and go back on. And you shouldn't have to do that yourself. You should be able to hire a professional to take those off and put them back on, because that's additional labor. If the carrier says they don't owe for that, they're wrong. Even if you do the labor yourself and take those lights off, you're actually owed for that labor. I think it might be a good idea to hire someone professional that comes and takes those lights off and puts them back on. They're gonna look great and you don't have to risk your own life. Oh. But even if you did it yourself, that labor is owed. If you really want to get technical into it, there are some policies that have additional living expenses or loss of use coverages that say that they will pay the amount of increase that you incur in order to maintain your current standard of living. If your standard of living is to put lights up in this time of year, maintaining that standard of living by having someone detach and reset it could fall under that coverage. But most policies say that that coverage only kicks in if that part of the dwelling becomes uninhabitable. So be careful trying to fit it in there if it doesn't, or if it does have the uninhabitable word. It's reasonable that you have lights, and it's necessary to remove them in order to do the roof. It's reasonable to put them back, and necessary because that was prior to the work being done. It's covered. Insurance policies are supposed to be written in plain language, but they're not. They're very confusing. Having somebody involved that is an expert at reading policy language and interpreting that insanity is really beneficial to you as a policyholder or as a contractor that needs help. If you have an insurance claim, get a public adjuster involved that you trust. Let us deal with the bull. Hey, if you're getting a lot out of these videos. We'd appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you get notifications whenever a new video comes out, and share this with as many people as you can. We want to make sure that policyholders are being taken care of a little bit better. We need to educate everyone in this industry on how to deal with the insurance carriers. And if any of these situations has happened to you, make sure to tell us about it in the comments below. Let's have a discussion. Like and share.